Hi, I'm David Hamburger. Welcome to another installment of my blog on blues song genealogy. Today I'm going to be talking about the song Nobody's Fault But Mine, which has its origins as a pre-war recording by blind Willie Johnson, who played it using a slide on a 12-string guitar. There are, of course, a lot of versions of this song, stretching from blind Willie Johnson through recordings by Led Zeppelin and beyond. The one that really sort of captured my imagination looking through all of them was the piano version by Nina Simone, made in the early 60s. And since I'm a big fan of sort of adapting different kinds of solo blues and jazz piano ideas to the guitar, I thought for this blog I would actually show a way to translate some of the atmosphere and attitude of the Nina Simone arrangement to the guitar. The original Blind Willie Johnson tune was basically a vamp on the one chord, and he would intersperse variations on the melody either with his vocal or with the guitar or both. But Nina Simone's version is a very up-to-date for the early 60s jazz pianist arrangement, in particular the way that jazz piano in the late 50s and 60s was very influenced by sort of earlier, rootsier forms of jazz. So it's a very sort of gospel-based, blues-drenched kind of performance, which is appropriate considering the origins of the song. But she basically takes the song and reharmonizes it. She plays it in the key of A and plays it in a very bluesy, the one chord you can't really tell. Sometimes it's major, sometimes it's minor. So it's these kinds of, but sometimes she just plays a straight minor chord, which could be, you know, a sharp 7 chord. Sometimes it's very overtly major, and sometimes it's not. She also uses a 4 chord, a D7, and a flat 6 chord. So A minor, D7, F, and A minor, and then also uses some suspended sounding chords, like an A7 that's really basically an A7 sus, and also an E sus. So it's always tricky getting the voicings adapted from the piano to the guitar, but the ones that I've chosen I think kind of reflect something of what she's doing, and the melody sits right in A minor. So it's really just a pentatonic, minor pentatonic kind of melody. So here's sort of how I would arrange just a chorus of it, so you could get the feel of how those harmonies interact with the melody and with some of those sort of piano-style blues licks. And then I'll just walk through it a little more specifically after I've played it through one time.